Hello, my name is Eduardo and I am here with a very fast tutorial for App Inventor. Well, the idea for this tutorial it was to help here this friend, okay, that is Hansi to you or something, okay, sorry if I say it incorrectly. Well, he was asking me about how to play a random sound, okay, just using one button, okay. Well, he was checking this video, but he was thinking, well, I know how to do this with lists, but how to do it with sounds. Okay, well, I'm going to explain you this very fast. We go here to App Inventor. The first thing that we need to do is to drag a button. Okay, I rename it to play random button. Then I add a sound component and I set it to 100, and that's it. Here we just I just change the text also, and that's it. So this is the basic stuff for the screen or the layout. Well, then we go to the blocks. Before that you have to import your sounds. I am using here WAPs, but you can use MP3s, okay, or OGG. I guess it's supported, but I like WAPs, especially because these are sounds and these are very short. Okay, I uploaded 6 sounds, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 1 WAP, 2 WAPs, and that's it. You do hear this thing. Okay, so I did like here. Well, now then we go to the blocks. The first thing that you have to do, it is your list of sounds. So you create a variable here, initialize, okay, as I did my sounds, I did it, and then you create make a list, or you add this block here in list, make a list, and then you start adding sounds. Okay, remember, just here we use this one, this slot, to add an extra sound if we have an extra sound. If not, we just can remove. Yes, well, this is one way to make the list. Okay, well, you have the list. Now we need to create a procedure to load the sound. Remember, when we have sounds in App Inventor, we need to set, this is to play the sound, and before that you need to set the source. Okay, so this component is going to play, but you need to tell first what sound it's going to play. Okay, so that is why we use source and then we use play. Well, to create the procedure, we're going to do this. First, we go here to procedures, we rename it to play random sound, and that's it. Then, as I told you, first you need to set the source. But before the source, let's think about this app. What if I am playing another sound? I don't want 2 sounds to play at the same time. So before that, in any case, I want to stop any possible sound that it will be like playing. So I call sound, first I stop, okay, then I set the sound source, and then I will play. So now for the source, just pretty simple. We're going to go here to this block that it says pick a random item. Okay, so it's going to select a random item from a list. So the source in this case, and from which list? From this one, play global my sounds, and that's it. And now we need to insert this procedure inside our button. So play random button, click. When we press the button, we're going to call the procedure, choose random sound, and that's it. I guess with that thing will work. Well, now now you can use, okay, now you can use this thing from this video. So how to avoid to pick a repeated item from the list. So the idea is pretty simple. You just have to, when you select something, you have to remove it from the list and you have to have another list. Okay, so if you check the video, I guess you can do it like that. So let me check if I have some time to make this. Well, this is just the basic procedure. So let me try to make it. So if we want to make that thing, we need another variable. This is, let's call it index. Okay. So, and set index to 0. Okay, so now we are going to sound source. Yes. That's it. I guess I need to check my video. Let's remove this. Well, when I remove this from the list, okay, from the random list, now my list, it doesn't have this thing, okay? It will remove. So now, but we need to check if the list, it is not empty. So in this case, if list is not empty, let's add a condition. If not empty, if the list is not empty, so we are going to do this procedure, okay? But what happens if the list is empty? Well, if the list is empty, okay, else what well, we are going to do something. We are going to load the list again, okay? So we are going to add, we're going to go here, add items to the list, okay, and we are going to add the same items from here, or we can just set again the list. Check, this is better. There are different options. Global my sounds, because it's going to remove everything. So we are going to reinitialize the list. We're going to make a list, and that's it. We're going to fill the list again. Okay, so in the case that we have this, if the list is empty, okay. Well, I hope that is understandable. And after the list is like that, we want to do the same thing. We're going to stop any possible sound, duplicate this, and we're going to play. Okay, play random sound button. It is in the play random sound button. Sorry, it was another procedure that I was practicing. Maybe we can add some vibration here. Let's add it here. I guess with 100 it will be perfect. We copy or duplicate, and that's it. Okay, well, just to make sure, I will check it on my cell phone, and I will see if this thing is working or not. So we have this EMJYQE. And let's see what happens. Okay, that is what's happening. And now maybe we can check here. You can play if you want to have the name of the maybe the sound file or something. You can add it here, and you say your sound is, or maybe playing, and then we add here horizontal arrangement here, and make it like fill parent, no, for width, fill parent here, and then we add another label, and this label, it will have the message or the name of the sound name, and we call it sound name label. The other one is not necessary, and then we center this, center. Okay, maybe this and bold, and that's it. When we call here, let's say before we remove the item, let's set the text of the label to this thing, to the someone source, duplicate. Okay, and let's see what happened. 6 1 3 4 5 2 2 1. And that's it. Okay, I guess it works okay. Just the only thing that is it is not empty that we want to use. Maybe to improve this, we can say if let's say blank of the list. Okay, so we're going to use this just to detect, not when it's empty, when the length of the list it is equal, no, it is bigger than 1. Bigger, no, I mean it is smaller, okay, or less than 1. Now duplicate. Let me check now the length of the list, then length of the list. When it's bigger than 1, we can use an index for that, or a number. One, so we're going to do that, but in this case the else, we need to define more the else. Okay, if it's bigger and it is like and, well, I said that it was going to be a very short tutorial, but it's taking a little bit more. And what is the second condition? Well, we want so if the length it is bigger than 1, okay, and how many we have here? We have 3 4 5 6. So if it's bigger than 1, we want to make this procedure, but if it's bigger is less than 6, maybe like that, I'm not sure. We are missing something here. The sound label name, when we again load the list. Four, three, two. In that way, we are not having like a repetitive thing. Okay, so this is another way to make it. So we go here, let me move this, and let's analyze very fast just this thing, just to sum up. First, we create a list. Okay, in this list, we are going to insert all the sounds. Then we create a procedure to play the random sound. First, we need to check 2 conditions. First, that the length of the list, okay, or the number of the items, okay, it is bigger than 1, so that is not an empty list, and that the length of the list, it is less than 6. Okay, so because we know we have 6 in here, okay, so we have 6 items. What if we are like adding more things? Well, so in that case, you can make another thing that it's like a little trick. Okay, we are going to duplicate this list, and we're going to call it copy. Okay, or let's call it backup sounds. Okay, backup sounds. But backup sounds, it won't be here like here. We're going to remove this thing. I will show you why. So we are going to add it like an empty list at the beginning. Then we're going to create here screen initialize, and the screen initialize, it's going to do this. When we initialize the screen, okay, so if this is the backup, just let's change this thing like this. Backup, it will be here, and sounds empty list. When we load the screen, we want to add, okay, or we want to copy a list, the backup sound. So we go to copy list, okay, and we're going to go to my sounds, this empty list, and we're going to copy the list backup sounds. And in that case, the backup sounds, they will be like always full. We are not going to remove anything from here. And then we have this list that is like a temporary list. Okay, well, now everything stays the same, except for this thing. We need to check that the length of the list, it is global my sounds, it is more than 1. Okay, more than 1, and the length of the list, it is less than this one, the length of the backup sound, so the original. So in that case, when we add more here, if we want to add more elements, we don't have to modify to 6 to 7. So we are going to trying to make this thing more practical for you, especially if you are planning to add more sounds. Now we are going to refresh the screen in my app, but that's the way. Let's try it. I guess works. Okay, well, then when we have this condition, it's telling us, hey, check if you have elements in the list, it's not empty your list, okay, and that you have that your list, it is less than the size of this one. Okay, so it is in the limits of the list. So then we are going to call this one. We're going to remove the item, okay, the current item from the source, the one that we played, to avoid repetitions. And then we're going to play and make cell phone vibrates. Then in here, what happened if this change? Well, we are going to remove this thing because we're going to copy again the sounds from the backup. Duplicate, and that's it, and we start everything again. If you want to add more sounds, well, you just add sounds in here. Okay, you just add a new sound here, and that's it. And then, of course, you need to insert this here in the play random sound. Okay, so what happens when we get to the limit of the list? Well, we're going to again copy all the elements. Okay, we are going to refill the list, and we're going to stop any sound, and we're going to set the source again from a random item from the new list, well, that we copy. Okay, and then we set here for the label, we are going to remove this item, okay, the random item from the list. Okay, and then we play it, and then we vibrate the cell phone. Well, I guess it was a little bit confusing, sorry. I hope you find this thing understandable. Okay, I'm sorry for the problems that I was having, but it's just to show you that this is the way we work with App Inventor. Sometimes we have to test and try and to improve, okay, because at the beginning it was like pretty simple, but then I tried to modify, and you have to do this on the go, okay, so that's why you need to be like testing and practicing and improving and etc. Well, if you like this video, please like it, okay, or share it with someone who's learning App Inventor like me, okay. Well, I will see you next time. Thank you. My name is Eduardo. Goodbye.